Welcome back to VEGO, fast, vegan, and vegetarian for those on the go. The Pod Magazine show featuring items found on our healthy grocery store program of the same name. Chef Brian creates cool recipes exclusively for you, using only his simple ingredients and lots of love. His famous no-measure style makes creating great meals incredibly fast and truly a joy. So here he is, VEGO Chef Brian. VEGO, and you're done.
Hey everybody, welcome to VEGO. I'm Chef Brian. Welcome to today's episode. VEGO is vegetarian and vegan for those on the go with busy lifestyles, so welcome to our show. Hey, if you like more details about saving 20% on all of the ingredients we talk about here on VEGO, just slide over to my website at bgangel.com. B as in Bob, G as in good, angel.com. Follow the links on the homepage and it'll take you right to the VEGO pages. As with all of our VEGO shows, we start them off with an essential ingredient. And today's essential ingredient is barley. So today we're going to take you on a little trip, Barley 101. So as cereal grains go, barley is a winner when it comes to good nutrition. This century-old grain is packed with fiber containing important vitamins, minerals. It's slim on fat, and like all plant products, hey, I love it, it's cholesterol-free. That's what we like here on the VEGO show. And it is a whole grain in its natural state, and it's considered the entire seed or kernel of the plant, and the kernel is made up of three parts: the bran, the endosperm, and of course the germ itself. Very important to understand these three components because you want them all there intact. Now, fiber, barley is a great source of dietary fiber. It actually contains the soluble and insoluble forms of the fiber. Soluble fiber is effective in lowering blood cholesterol and can reduce the risk of heart disease. And soluble fiber is also beneficial in slowing the absorption of sugar and reducing the risk of type 2 or non-insulin dependent diabetes. Now, the insoluble fiber found in the barley may also help the body in maintaining regular bowel movements. Very important, and the insoluble fiber helps to lower the risk of certain cancers as well. A lot of documentation out there, so go and look it up. Cholesterol and fat, like all plants, barley is naturally cholesterol-free and low in fat. A half a cup of barley, actually, if it's in the pearl form, typically this grain has less than a half of gram of fat and only about 100 calories, so this guy is really a super powerhouse. Tons of vitamins and minerals, including niacin, B3, thiamine, B1. Of course, it's got selenium, iron, magnesium, zinc, phosphorus, copper, so many amazing other things. Now, as I said, there's three parts: the bran, which is the outer skin of the kernel; the germ, the layer and the embryo of the seed or the kernel, and the germ layer typically contains the B vitamins, the proteins, minerals, and the healthy fats. And then the endosperm, this is the germ's food supply and is the largest portion of the kernel itself. Now, the reason we're talking about it here on the VEGO show is because of this incredible company called the Alaska Flour Company. And they are using Alaskan-grown grains produced on a family farm to create simple products with simple ingredients that are high in nutrition and simply taste better than anything else you've ever tried in your lifetime. Their vision is to share a piece of the Alaskan agriculture at its best with people all around the world. Their products, I gotta tell you, are just over-the-top stupid good. Just amazing, these guys. Now, the owner, Bryce Wrigley, he's the CEO of the company. He's the man behind the Alaska Flour Company, and he's been working the farms up there for over 3 decades, producing quality food and building a reputation as a leading advocate for food security. And in 2011, that passion led him and his wife, Jan, to found the Alaska Flour Company, the only commercial flour mill in the state of Alaska. In addition to directing the daily operations of the Wrigley farm, which is planting and harvesting the barley that's used, Bryce guides the principles and the processes that are used as part of the Alaska Flour Company. His honesty, work ethic, ingenuity, and vision have helped to grow the Alaska Flour Company's reputation as a premier provider of nutritious, locally grown barley products. And I got to tell you, I met the man at a show here in in Canada called the CHFA, the Canadian Food Health Association show, and the guy is all aces in my book. Really high integrity, really knows his product line. And one of his flagship products is Barley Couscous from Alaska, 100% stone ground barley. And I mean, I've tried, couscous before. I've never had anything that had such a purity and clarity of flavor and such an incredible note of flavors like this barley couscous. Now, in particular, there are a number of the flavored couscouses which they produce. So they have a vegan chicken and herb, they have a Cajun, of course they have a Tuscan flavor. By the way, they also make a brownie mix, which is over the top. I mean, we're talking totally just over the cliff here, good. And then, of course, they make an amazing pancake mix. But in particular, I want to talk to you about this Tuscan barley couscous. And this is so incredible. So basically, we are going to make an amazing recipe using this Tuscan barley couscous. Now, it's so simple to make, it's just ridiculous how simple this recipe is to make, and you're going to absolutely love it. You empty the package up, and you basically put in the amount of water that they tell you on the package. Now, what I did is, I did a half a package, and I did about a cup and a half of water. And what I did is I have one of these amazing cook pots, and I'm sure you've seen them before. They're like all the rage right now. It's called an Instant Pot. And if you don't have one, you're probably going to end up getting one either for Mother's Day or Father's Day or for the holidays. You're going to definitely end up getting one of these suckers. And you put it in there, and you put it on the steam setting, and they have two, low pressure, high pressure. I put it on the high pressure, and it's a good old-fashioned steam pot, usually used for rices, but boy, you can do all kinds of amazing cool stuff in it. So I put in about half of the package of the Tuscan barley couscous, the water, and then what I did is I impact boost like I do with all of my recipes. I chopped up some green onions into it, a little bit of cubed carrot to give it a nice color, and I even put in some chopped parsley into it. And then I turned it on and let it go for about 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. And then they have two ways that you can release the pressure. One is called a slow steam, or one is the fast steam release. The fast steam release, you just kick off the valve and make sure your face is clear of it, and the steam pops out of the unit, and then it decompressions itself, and you're ready to go. The slow method is you just simply let it sit there, and it loses its pressure as the unit turns off, and it goes into automatic warm setting. And so what I do is I actually go the fast steam release, and I release the steam according to the instructions on the pot, and then it's ready. And you have this incredible barley couscous recipe with these simple vegetables. And the beauty of, for me, I like using whatever I have available in the fridge, and I pop it in, and the next thing you know, you have an incredible meal for the whole family to enjoy. That is the main part of the meal, actually. The other dressings and accoutrements that you can put around it are just add-ons, but that is the main part of the meal. Tastes awesome. We have all kinds of sauces and things that we can drop on it. We'll talk about that later. But that's the main component of making this Tuscan barley couscous. You're going to absolutely freak how good it is. Now, if you don't like the Tuscan flavors, then you can also use the Cajun flavors or their vegan chicken and herb as well. They also have those flavors. Now, if you're a camping fanatic like I am, I'm a camping fanatic. In fact, I have an Instagram page called the Cadillac Glamper. Yeah, that's right, the Cadillac Glamper. And so I love this guy for camping because it's literally a meal in a bag. One small pot over my fast burner stove. Okay, so I have one of those bottle type burners where you put the burner over the top of the propane burner bottle. And so I just turned it on to low setting, and literally one small pot, throw my ingredients from the Tuscan barley couscous from the Alaska Flour Company. I throw it in with a little bit of purified water because I always carry purified water when I'm camping. And then, boom, within 5 minutes, I have an incredible meal that satisfies me. The best part is it makes you feel light when you eat it. The vegetables are only lightly steamed, so they're not mushy, right? It's got a nice crunch to it, but the barley is soft and silky. And I got to tell you, it's like I said, the Alaska Flour Company is producing this barley that is so crisp and such clarity of flavor. And there's no residue left behind. And it's light and fluffy. It's Probably one of the best barley couscouses I've ever had in my entire life. You definitely got to get this guy a try. Now, on our VEGO program, you can get this guy shipped right to your doorstep. And the details on how the VEGO program are available at my website at bgangel.com, but it's really, really quite simple. You can take a look at the retail price anywhere that you go. And the beauty is we list what the retail price is here at the website on the price list that's available for you to download as well. And then we also have our membership price. And the membership price knocks 20% off the top right away. So basically, you can call the 188 number, and they also have a local number as well, and you can place your orders for these products. And then I'll give you an example here. The Tuscan Barley Couscous mix, normally this guy retails at about $7.34 Canadian, and our members price is only $5.87. And the beauty is you don't have to order 50 bags. You can order only 1 or 2 bags and try a variety of them. And that's what I like about the VEGO program, is that it allows you to try a variety of products and find out which ones you and your friends and your neighbors and your loved ones and your family, which ones they really like. Then you can stock up on those later on. That's the beauty of it. VEGO program has over 1,200 items. We have over 1,200 items on our VEGO program, and they're all available for you. The beauty is we are not charging any membership fees. No membership fees. And by the way, if your order comes up over a couple of $100, they'll even ship the entire order right to your doorstep for free. Free-o! That's what I like about the VEGO program too, is we try to cut the corners. No red tape here, no fine print. We make it super simple for you to save and get your hands on some great foods for you and your family. So definitely give that Tuscan Barley Couscous a try and get your hands on one of those Instapots if you don't have one already, because we're going to do a whole bunch of recipes in that Instapot. Now let's jump into part 2 of our VEGO show, which is kitchen science. And so let's kick it up a notch here, and let's talk about a really cool instrument used in the food industry. It first came from the agricultural industry. It's called a Brix Meter. B-R-I-X, Brix Meter. Now, this is a really super cool instrument. And you know what? Definitely got to go to one of the farm implement stores and get your hands on one of these suckers. It has another name. It's also known as a refractometer. And the refractometer is an invaluable tool used to evaluate the best food. Actually, what it's measuring glucose levels. And so it's very, very simple. Basically, the way the device works is it has a little slide that opens up, and on the glass platform, it's like a microscope, okay, like a handheld microscope. You put a little bit of the juice sample of the fruit or the vegetable that you want to test. And then you close up the slide, and it makes an instant smear, and then you hold it up to the light. And it shows you on a scale, and they have different instruments, have different scales, but the one that I'm using has a scale from 0 to 30, and it gives you a reading right away. It's really simple to read, too. You can't mess it up. Now, that reading is an indication of the quality of the food or the produce. It's really simple. So I'll give you an example. Let's say tomato. According to this table that was developed by the farmers, which is called Ream's Composite Chart or Brix Reader Chart, it said that if your tomato had a reading of 4, it was considered poor quality. It didn't have the ability to produce good quality sugars, or it simply wasn't ready, wasn't at the peak of potency ready to eat or consume, so the farmers weren't going to harvest at that time. And they have a specific guideline on what they use for individual farms. Depends, of course, on the region and the growing climate and the current conditions. That a reading of 6, they considered it average. 8 was a good tomato, 12 was excellent, and 18 they considered it what they called DF, which was disease-free. So if you went to the grocery store and you brought back a batch of tomatoes, or you went to the farmer's market and you brought back a batch of tomatoes and you paid a ton of money for them, and then you used the Brix reader at home, the refractometer, and it showed you that poor quality, then it's said that this tomato wasn't what you paid for. You didn't get all the bang for your buck. And so what you do is you search around and you find good sources that give you good quality produce where you're putting your hard-earned dollars into. And so when we made this, the Barley Tuscan Couscous, I said I dropped some green onions. I made a smear and I found out what good quality onions. And a good quality onion was supposed to give me a scale of anywhere from 8 all the way up to about 13. And so I was able to check to make sure it was good quality. And of course, when you're using great produce and great fruits and vegetables, hey, you're going to get great results. You know, source is everything, especially when it comes to your food. And today, we've got to be more value conscious more than ever before, and we definitely want to buy from those producers that are giving us good value for our money. So get your hands on that. Now, if you don't have one of the information on the Brix Reader and you want to get some information and you want to get the chart as well, I have an amazing 18-page booklet that was produced which tells you all about the refractometer and gives you that chart. And if you want it, hey, just drop me a line to my email address at bgangel777@gmail.com. So B as in Bob, G as in good, angel 777@gmail.com, and I'll pick up that request, and you just say on the message menu, Brix Reader, please, or refractometer, please, and or if you're not, just put food tester for me, please, and I'll pick it up and I'll get that out to you lickety-split, and then together we can have some fun testing our food and really cranking it up a notch. So I hope you enjoyed today's segment on food science on the refractometer. Now, I want to talk about some other food products here and on the VEGO show for today. And since we're on the Alaska Flour Company, I want to talk about their vegan brownie mix. And this is just over the top, just totally over the top. And so we are going to make this incredible recipe for you, and I want to show you how I did it. It's really quite simple. So the first thing what I did is for this mix, so this is what they call their black gold brownie mix. And they actually have a cool little slogan. It says, "Strike it rich decadence." And it's also vegan as well. And trust me, this brownie mix is stupid good. I mean, absolutely stupid good. And the ingredients are pretty simple as well. It's got some pure cane sugar. It's got some stone ground Alaskan barley, obviously. It's got some cacao powder. And then it's got some sea salt, all right, and that's basically it. Now, they're suggesting to mix it up, that you put it into a bowl, the entire package. I actually only used a quarter of a package to make 3 small squares of brownies. That's how far this one package will go. They're suggesting putting in a stick or a half a cup of melted organic butter and also some eggs and some vanilla. And so what I did is I actually modified this recipe. And so what I did with it is instead of using butter, I used coconut oil. And I found that the coconut oil actually worked just as good. Now, instead of using eggs, I used egg substitutes. For those of you who are strict vegans, you're not going to use eggs, obviously. So there's a beautiful egg substitute I learned about where you use non-genetically modified cornstarch, a little bit of baking soda, and a little bit of baking powder. Make sure that you're using aluminum free, obviously. Now, a little bit of each with a little bit of water actually almost completely substitutes an egg in the recipe, and it actually gives a nice fluffiness to the brownie. It's absolutely wonderful. So I used the pink salt that we have, which is called the frequency pink salt, which is available on our VEGO program. We'll talk about the pink salt later on. And then vanilla, I have a vanilla pod, and with the vanilla pod, I score it down the center. I actually scrape out about a quarter of a vanilla pod. You know the price of vanilla pods, it's like ridiculous. So I use it very sparingly. And then actually what I do with the rest of the vanilla pod is I have a little container of organic cane sugar, and what I do is I stick the vanilla pod in the cane sugar, and it actually helps to flavor the cane sugar for me, and then I'm ready to use that vanilla pod for my next recipe. About a quarter of a vanilla pod I made into this brownie mix. And then I just stir the whole thing up. It's a very thick mixture. You may have to put a couple of teaspoons or so of water into it. So I hit it with a little splash of water. You know, I don't like measuring things. So I put in about, like I said, about a quarter of a package of this guy. I threw in about a teaspoon or so of the baking soda, baking powder, and the non-genetically modified cornstarch as my egg substitute. The coconut oil dropped in, a quarter of a vanilla pod, a hit of pink salt into it, and I mixed it up. And then I hit it, like I said, with a little splash of water, and I mix it up into a very thick, beautiful, creamy mixture. And then you can do a number of things. One thing that I like to do to prepare the brownies, one way is to take a glass jar or a glass tray. I'll line it with some parchment paper, and then I'll fill it with the batter mix ready to go. Another cool way is if you have some heat-resistant glasses, and I actually have a few of these guys, but you have to make sure that they can resist the heat of about 300 to 400 degrees without cracking. And I actually will take a small one, and I'll actually coat it with a little bit of coconut oil. So I take a little piece of towel, paper towel, and I'll rub it all inside the glass, and then I'll fill the batter mix only about a third of the way up. That's all, about a third of the way. And that makes a little cup brownie, which the kids really like. And the other way to do it is you can take a small tureen. They use these for little tarts or little chocolates. And what I'll do with that guy is I'll actually pull out my Instapot, put in about a half an inch of water into it, and drop the little tureens into the little bath. And then I'll turn the Instapot on. But the key to making this guy work is you use their low pressure setting. If you use the high pressure setting, you're going to have one heck of a mess inside that Instapot. The low pressure setting, and you only let it go for about 5 to 6 minutes. And then the slow steam release method, so that you have a cooking time of about 10 minutes. And either way, whether you do it in the oven at 220, low and slow, like I like to do it, and that takes you about 15-20 minutes, or whether you do it at 350 traditional heat mixture, which is about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you open the oven door and let the brownie settle in. You don't want it to flop on you, so you want it low heat release. Or if you do it in the Instapot, which can take you anywhere from 5 minutes up to 8 minutes, you pop these guys out, let them set up. You got to be very gentle so it doesn't drop, because a lot of air is going to go into it, and it's going to make it really nice and fluffy. The top is going to have that crust on it. It's absolutely awesome. If you want to make a nice chocolate spread, get some cacao powder, okay, and then a little bit of coconut oil, mix the two together, all right, and then it makes a beautiful cream batter, just like icing like we used to use. If you need to sweeten it, you can put in a little bit of coconut sugar into it. For some of us, maybe a little bit of agave. It's going to be you're going to need a little bit more powder if you use agave, because it's a liquid, and it makes a nice chocolate spread. Believe me, the brownies on their own, we call them naked brownies with no icing, are absolutely, totally amazing, totally delicious. And definitely get a container or two of this guy. This package is just incredible. The package actually, the brownie mix, actually contains 421 grams. And there is a lot of mix in here. There is really a lot of mix. And this is also vegan. And again, when they say black gold brownie mix, they're not kidding. This is dark, dark chocolate colored brownies. Decadent, rich, absolutely delish. And our Instagram account to take a look at live photos of all of our food recipes here on the VEGO Food Show. Just simply go to VEGO Food Show on Instagram. We've got pictures posted right now for you to take a look at. Absolutely delish. You're going to love using this brownie mix. Definitely give this guy a try. You're going to be super, super impressed with it. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show and today's episode and today's cool recipes and our food science and our essential ingredients and our company reviews. We're very, very happy and delighted that you could take time to join us on today's episode. If you have any questions you'd like to pose to Chef Brian, by all means, just send it to my email at bgangel777@gmail.com. If you'd like more information about the VEGO and You're Done Healthy Food Program, it's over 1,200 items where you can save automatically 20% off with no membership fees and free delivery if your order is over $125. Hey, listen, just drop me a line and I'll be glad to send you out the color catalog and the price list, or visit my website at bgangel.com and follow the links on the homepage. It takes you right to the VEGO homepage, and you're going to absolutely love this amazing program. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us here on VEGO and You're Done. Blessings to you all. Until we meet again, bye for now.